Eyewitness News reporter Katy Zachry is live with the mobile newsroom along Interstate 91 in Meriden.
Eyewitness News reporter Diana Rocco is in downtown Hartford, and we have two meteorologists tracking the storm. We begin with our chief meteorologist, Bruce DePrest, in the Early Warning Forecast Center. Bruce?
Well, Denise and Dennis, Winter Storm Agatha is moving away tonight, but we still have some advisories in effect. Let's check them out. The National Weather Service has kept a winter weather advisory for Hartford, Tolland, and Windham counties until 2 o'clock in the morning for a little bit of snow, a little bit of freezing drizzle, along with falling temperatures. We also have a wind advisory in effect for much of eastern Connecticut and all of the Connecticut shoreline as well. Channel 3's early warning pinpoint Doppler is picking up a little bit of leftover light snow across the state. We'll hold in on one area there. You can see there might be a few snowflakes in Hamden, New Haven, and North Branford. But now the story is not the snow and the ice, it is the cold. Look at these temperatures right now. Torrington is 10. The highest temperature in the state is 20 degrees, and that is in Norwich and in Groton. And you'll be facing some pretty nasty wind chills in the morning. More on that coming up in a few minutes, but for now we go outside to Mark Dixon, and he has more on these snow and sleet totals for today. Mark.
Dealing with across the state because, as you mentioned, across Connecticut all day long it has been nothing but a mix from freezing rain to sleet to, in some parts of the state for a short amount of time, some snow. Just take you down here to the ground. Because it's been so cold this evening, it's allowed some of this to freeze. But when we get down here, this is not the type of snow that you're going to be making snowmen with. In fact, this is not even snow at all. This is sleet. You look at those granules, and that's what you're seeing. So across Connecticut, the accumulations we've had have been of sleet and snow, and we've got some of those for you, the highest amounts, in fact, including the areas across Connecticut that I could find over 3.5 inches. Winsted right at the 5-inch mark. Vernon 4.5 also for New Preston, 4.3 New Hartford, Sharon, and Tolland right at the 4-inch mark. Elsewhere around the state, 4 inches Bridgewater, Manchester 3.5 as well for Bolton, Farmington, Thompson, then Avon coming in at 3 inches. And well, officially the number of Bradley International, a whopping 2.4 inches so far for the season, bringing our total to 6.1 inches compared to a normal season and a 30-year average this far. Well, we should typically have closer to 32 inches. Now, the heavy snow, it did fall, just not here in Connecticut. Our early warning pinpoint Doppler taking you a little bit farther off to the northwest, and that is where we see those darker shades of blue and gray indicating 25 to 35 inches of snow. We're talking between 2 and 3 feet of snow falling very close to Connecticut, so that axis of heavy snow not far from us. If this storm center would have passed a little bit farther out to sea by about 75 to 100 miles, that's the snow we would have been dealing with here in Connecticut. Instead, we had this sleet slushy mix that we're going to be contending with not only tonight but through much of the end of the work week as you head out and about. And Chief Meteorologist Bruce DePrest and his early warning forecast will have more on our next chances for snow, and there's more than one in the 7-day. That's ahead in just a few minutes. In the meantime, reporting live in downtown Hartford, Mark Dixon, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Mark. And as you pointed out, the roads all across the state are treacherous. Some are even being shut down for serious crashes. Our team coverage continues now with Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Katy Zachry live with the mobile newsroom along Interstate 91 in Meriden, the Silver City. Tonight we'll call it the Slippery City. Katy?
It definitely is a slippery city, and let me tell you, we've been over much of Connecticut tonight. There is much more traffic out on the roads this evening, but that does not mean things are safe.
On a very slick I-95, traffic crawled past a jackknife tractor trailer. This crash in Old Saybrook paralyzed the evening commute across the Baldwin Bridge. Several cars collided with the truck when it rolled over, and 2 people had to be rushed to the hospital.
Well, they said we shouldn't drive, and we didn't.
Across the state, police told drivers to stay off the wet roads. The icy mixture caused dozens of crashes every hour. At times, plows were even few and far between. As the snow and sleet tapered off by evening, plow drivers worked overtime to clear the mess before the overnight temperatures set in.
I just think that people drive too fast for conditions.
Slick conditions on Route 9 kept drivers well below the speed limit. Traffic was sporadic on most major roads throughout the evening.
We heard that the roads were really bad.
And the roads are still bad. Any of the secondary roads, the local roads, and the major roads like Interstate 91 behind me, all of them have a film, a snowy, sleety film. Some thinner film, others much larger film, but you can see that film and you can feel it. And it's only going to get worse as the overnight temperatures drop. So be careful. Reporting live with the mobile newsroom from Meriden, Katy, Zachry, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Now, plow drivers from all over Connecticut have been working overtime to clear the snow and ice from the roads to prevent more crashes from happening and to get the roads ready for the morning commute. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Diana Rocco rode along with them tonight. She's live with the mobile newsroom in downtown Hartford with what she learned. Diana?
Well, throughout the evening, state police have reported about 30 accidents an hour, and that's because of road conditions like this one. Just take a look at the roads here in downtown Hartford. Still a very slushy mix here, but plows will be out straight through tomorrow morning, making sure the commute is a smooth one. Agatha pounded the state for most of the day, leaving the streets, well, nothing short of a mess.
The secondary roads are pretty messy. They took their time on them highways, too. I was really disappointed with the highway.
But as Ernest Johnson finished shoveling out, a plow finally made its way down his street. Charlie Davis is that man behind the plow. He's been on the roads for as long as 25 hours during a storm and has the grueling job of staying up all night to make sure commuters aren't stuck come morning. The way the roads looked for most of the day, he has a long night ahead.
You had to constantly have your mind on the streets and the cars around you, you know. If not, you'd be in a world of trouble out here.
But the most frustrating part for him, all those drivers who ignored the parking ban.
A lot of these cars park on both sides of the street. You know, we can't get this plow down between those cars, you know. Year after year we go through this. Towing a lot of cars. I think this towed probably 500 cars last year.
Hundreds learned a hard lesson after that. They were towed to impound. But for those who weren't, they may just find themselves snowed in come morning. And it seems just as quickly as it came, this Valentine's Day surprise seems to have left everyone hoping winter has had its last hurrah.
I hope so. I hope so. But you know, we've been lucky so far.
Now that the storm is over, hopefully the plows will have a chance to catch up, and hopefully they'll get to the sidewalks here too. We're live in Hartford tonight with the mobile newsroom. Diana Rocco, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Diana, the storm caused some pretty major problems at Bradley International Airport today, and there could be more delays tomorrow. The entire airport was shut down this morning, and flights were either canceled or delayed throughout the day. Airport officials are now urging anyone with flights tomorrow to call ahead to the airline first to see if their plane is delayed.
Now, the Peter Pan Bus Company has canceled all regularly scheduled buses tonight throughout the Northeast. This was the scene in downtown Hartford earlier tonight at Union Station. All buses will resume normal schedules tomorrow morning, except the 6 a.m. and the 7:55 a.m. from Hartford to Springfield. Those buses have been canceled. Metro North plans on running a full schedule tomorrow, as they did today. For the second night in a row, they'll run trains all night to keep the tracks nice and clear for the morning commute. But they do warn that trains could still be delayed.
We invite you to stay with Channel 3 Eyewitness News for continuing coverage of Winter Storm Agatha. Bruce will have the full forecast and tell us what to expect for the morning commute. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes. Now to tonight's Fugitive Files. The Naugatuck Police Department is looking for 3 people tonight. They are our 3 at large.
The first is 31-year-old Leticia Linhares. She's wanted for identity theft, criminal impersonation, and immigration charges. Next is 21-year-old Joshua Adamson. Police want him for violation of a protective warrant and harassment. And this is 26-year-old Todd Bowen. He's wanted for possession of a controlled substance and for selling drugs near a school. They are tonight's 3 at large. If you have any information about any of these fugitives, you're urged to call our anonymous tip line. There's the number right there on the screen. Toll free 1-866-279-7531.
And our live phone bank is open right now. Officers from Naugatuck Police are standing by to take your calls. They need your help to get these 3 criminals off the street. Again, that phone number is 1-866-279-7531. We will check in with the officers later in this newscast to see what kind of information they're getting from you.
Now, Naugatuck Police took us along on their most recent fugitive roundup.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Jamie Roth, who's been doing this now for a couple of weeks, went along with them and learned about the twists and turns a roundup can take.
Well, Dennis and Denise, it really is a search. It's a chase. Some of these people, these fugitives, know there are charges against them, but they don't want to be found. They could just go to the police department and surrender, but they don't. So the officers go door to door searching. They track down parents, friends, anyone with information.
So you haven't heard or seen him at all, huh?
Right now, Naugatuck police are looking for Joseph Baylock. They know he lives here.
We're a little concerned.
Concerned because some of these officers saw what Baylock's girlfriend looked like a couple of weeks ago.
You'll be here in about 5 minutes?
The landlord needs to let them in. They arrested Baylock for beating his girlfriend, but he never showed up to court.
Carol?
Hello? Baylock and the girlfriend are gone. Tonight, these Naugatuck officers will try to round up a whole list of fugitives. They'll knock on doors across town.
How does it feel when you knock and you knock and you knock and you don't get anything?
It's